What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another superstar from the sport of mixed martial arts. Today we get to talk to Jason Jackson, who's got a big fight coming up at Bellator 301, and that's on Friday, November 17th in Chicago, Illinois. Jackson challenges Yaroslav Amosov for the Bellator welterweight title. What's going on, Jason? Been a long time since we caught up. Wagwan, brother.
Everything is alright going. Everything is going. Can't complain. I'm blessed to live in South Florida.
Yeah, I hear. That's what I hear. You're still with Kill Cliff, right?
Correct.
Okay. Um, so you've won six straight, and you've looked amazing. Honestly, I wanted to ask you the Ed Ruth fight, which I guess is going to be similar to this guy in that a guy that's primarily a wrestler who's highly accoladed. Could you point back to that fight almost and just say I learned something from that fight, and that's what made me a better fighter?
Yeah, definitely. I learned a lot from that fight. That fight kind of teach me to be a mixed martial artist because I went into that fight a little one dimensional, and I think I was a little bit timid to use my wrestling. And then once I figured out that I have to be a complete mixed martial artist, I started to win fight afterward. I just go in there all around and complete it, use everything.
Is it almost a challenge when your wrestling does start working, your takedown, your ability to get up, that now you almost throw a wrinkle in the game? What I've noticed is when a lot of strikers do build a formidable wrestling game, all of a sudden they want to show up their offensive wrestling.
Well, wrestling is my base. Wrestling is my first art that I learned, and the fact that never wrestled in college or whatnot, I didn't think I was a good wrestler because I was wrestling against, fighting against guys that that had a lot of credential as far as wrestling goes. So you know, I kind of leave that out a little bit and just kind of rely on my striking because I learned boxing afterward. And then as I realized that it's not wrestling, it's mixed martial art. I started to capitalize on that and just use everything because it makes everything a little more easier.
Well, you had me fooled. I definitely would have thought striking would have been the first talent that you had because you're a really, really good striker. But that's great to know that wrestling, I guess, was where it all started, and that means you've embraced the grind and the weight cut and breaking people and trying to not get broken.
Right, right. And that's what I figure out. Wrestling kind of dictate the pace. As far as martial art, if you want to stand up or if you don't want to go to the ground, you definitely have to embrace the grind, like you said.
Hey, listen, how far back do you go with Kill Cliff, Combat, everything? I mean, was Rashad Evans almost one of the guys, one of the OGs that kind of helped you embrace that grind?
Absolutely. Rashad Evans is like the one that actually kind of made me realize how to be a real mixed martial artist and how to put it together since the Black Zillion days. So Rashad Evans is one of the guy that I have to give a lot of credit to why I'm the mixed martial artist I am. He teaches me how to put it together and how to strike, how to level change and feints. Yeah, Rashad, I have to give most of my credit to definitely.
Since we're talking about OGs, how about Anthony Johnson? Give me a good memory of him, a technique he taught you, or something he might have said to you that you've carried with you all these years.
Anthony Johnson is a role model. I always tell him, and he look at me like I'm crazy because he is one guy that always just able to shock everybody, and the power that he brings to the game. That's like I don't think you're not gonna see that in nobody. And that guy, like, he hit so hard. I used to spar with him and move around with him, and it just made me like overcome a lot of fear. Like, if I could stand and move around with Anthony Rumble, then I shouldn't have no fear with no one else. So that reminds me of Anthony Johnson a lot.
And of course, I'm sure you know this, but he was once at 170. Can you believe that?
Ridiculous. I can't believe up to this day.
Yeah, that is a car crash. Except as big as he was, it was almost like you're running into a semi and you're the car. A lot of people
I'm
don't remember that part of his
I,
career.
I'm happy that he was around when I was around at 170. That guy got
Yeah,
some crazy power.
yeah. It's fun to reminisce. Um, that team is now probably about 12 years old. But if we tie it into John Jones, it's funny how that split between Rashad Evans and John Jones produced this massive, successful team that is now called Kill Cliff. Um, a lot of people may not know that history, but that rivalry spawned something pretty special.
Right, definitely. Well, everything happened for a reason. Nothing never happened, for
Yeah,
a purpose. Everything happened for a reason.
for sure. Jason Jackson joining us here on MMA Junkie Radio. He fights at Bellator 301 on November 17th. It's a Friday, and Showtime's got you covered. This is the main event, and Jackson will be challenging Yaroslav Amosov for his welterweight title. All right, goes. What do you have for Jason Jackson?
Jason, can you maybe tell us a little bit about the journey and getting to this moment? Were you happy with the way everything went down and now where it's at, time and place? Did it all just kind of fall into sort of the plan that you had in your head when you envisioned this moment?
Well, I'm excited, and I have no complaint whatsoever. The road that I had to take to get here, because like I said, everything happened for a reason, and I had to work and earn my title shot. And when I go out there, a man who earned his way here is not going to just give it all up. You're going to have to kill me to get it from me because it wasn't given to me. And I'm not going to take it for granted. So if they think I'm just going to come and lay down and try to take a tech, definitely get my hand raised. And I'm going to put every single thing into it that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm dedicated. I'm motivated. And I have beat champions, former UFC guys. So it just tell you that, I belong here. I have earned my way here, and I didn't like get up and just said complain. I was just patient. Whatever they wanted me to do, if they wanted to fight another fight, I will fight another fight. I didn't complain. I just put in my work, and it's it come to here where I'm gonna get what I deserve.
Can you talk about maybe your confidence level throughout this journey? Because you're right, when you break down all the fighters you fought, the most impressive thing to me are the skill sets. You have some of the best guys with some of these high level skill sets in grappling, striking, wrestling. You've been through a lot of that. What does that do for your confidence level now going into a fight like this?
Well, that's what braids me to be this guy who I am, and know that I have to beat Jason Jackson the night of the fight. And most of the guys that I fought, it's just my skill to adapt. You know, I'm just a good person at adapting, and it's not like I knew I had those skills. I had to find out the moment when I fought guys like Neymar Gracie and went to the ground. I'm not a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and the fact that I was willing to find out in there, fight against guys like Paul Dale with the power. I was always willing and able to go find out. And you know what they say, once there's a will, there's a way. And that's why I am the guy who I am, the ass kicking machine.
George talked about that training room that you're in. It's just full of killers everywhere. When you look at Amosov and his career, where do you think he ranks globally in the world as far as what he's been able to accomplish and where he's at today?
Yaroslav is one of the best welterweight on this planet, if not the best welterweight on the planet, because the record that he brings to the table and the skill set, he knows how to win fight. And yeah, he's been fighting for a while. He fought a lot of tough guys, you know what I'm saying? So I would say he up there in the rankings. You have guys right now in the UFC, like, you know what I'm saying, Chef got Gilbert Burns and guys like that, you know what I'm saying, that are good. So it's a lot of guys in our room that, you know what I'm saying, that definitely could put up on the pedestal with him. So I'm going to consider that he's one of the best, if not the best.
At USA Today and MMA Junkie, we have him at number 5. We rank the world, not just the UFC. We rank PFL, Bellator, one championship. So yeah, man, we know 27-0 is quite the resume. He's got some title defenses. He doesn't lose very many rounds. He's pretty a pretty amazing fighter. And you, along with that streak you have an excellent record. Man, that could really catapult you up there as well. That's got to feel pretty good.
Right. So once I beat this guy, where that puts me?
That is a good question, and I'll have to figure it out. And I'm happy to do it, man. On November 20th, we'll release our rankings that week, and we'll see. But hey, at least there's a target. You got to get that O off him, that title off him, that ranking off him. I mean, I gotta imagine you probably want to fight tonight. How prepared are you? Is like, did you go 120% for this camp?
Well, I put everything in it. I cross all my T's and dot all my I's, because that's what, when I go there, there's nothing that no one can say, hey, this guy didn't put his all into it. And I strive on adversity. And when it comes time to shine, I'm always going to prevail above the odds. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be the guy. And one thing I know, I am not afraid. I am not afraid to go in there and find out. I don't have nothing to lose. I have everything to win, everything to gain from this fight. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, I tell you.
Jason, this might be a reach. And if it is, just say, that's a reach, bro. But is there anything to the couple of losses that you've taken have been ATT related? I don't know if there's still the rivalry or what, because you're an OG, I'm asking, right? But will it feel good to also, like I say, the title, give them that first everything that comes with it? But would it be nice? Do you carry any of that as well?
No, because I have more victories over a very tough team than losses. So I never really look back at that. A fight is a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fight is a fight to me. So I would say it's a reach.
Okay. Let me ask you something about how talented your room is. There's a lot of killers in your room. And I've been following the Ian Gary story where he kind of left, went to another gym. It seemed like he wasn't welcome there as well. How have you been able to manage training with all these high-level fighters, but also, I guess, keeping the bond, the friendship, the respect, and not having a split, which not only can affect you and the other guy, but also the coaches?
Well, I've been around for such a long time. I've been there since the beginning, and I'm already used to the fact that people come and go. So it's nothing that I take to the head or anything. People just come and go, just like a job. Show must go on. So I never really look too much into it or take it personal. Most of the people are just co-workers.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, like I say, you've been there for such a long time. I imagine there's some seniority, and you got a good foundation there with Henry Hooft and the rest of the guys. One other tough question here, but it's reality. We have to deal with it. This could be a final event for Bellator, and you might actually be the final fight. Now, I don't know. Maybe the name continues elsewhere. Who knows? I don't know. But has that in any way interrupted your training? Kind of like a little bit of the uncertainty at all?
Nah, I felt good because you know why? I was like, Bellator is pretty smart. They say the best for the last. Why not go out like that? If that's the way they're going to go out.
That's quite the answer. I love it. Hey, look, it's a fabulous promotion. We all hope they keep going somehow. But this is an outstanding card in Chicago, Illinois. 2 title fights, some Grand Prix stuff going on. It's really, really stacked. I'll be tuning in. And folks, I encourage you all to tune in. And this cat has really put in some work. He's beaten some top names. He deserves his title shot, and it's against the proper champion. So tune in. And Jason, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me, and it's always been a pleasure to come on MMA Junkie and discuss with you guys. Thank you so much for giving us a platform to, connect with the audience and everything. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Those are some kind words, and we appreciate it. One last thing. Are you a Top Boy fan?
Top Boy, what's that?
On Netflix. You don't know what that is?
Oh no.
You got to check it out, man.
Top Boy, I don't know. I don't.
The UK and Jamaica, that's why I started with Wagwan, brother. But I think it went over your head.
No, because I mean YouTube been kicking Netflix butt, so I've been more on YouTube. So
YouTube's rocking, but I'm telling you, Netflix. It's only 3 seasons, and I guarantee you, after the fight, you'll be telling the Bellator guys, "Hey, put me back on Junkie. I got to give those guys a fist bump because that's one hell of a series."
Now I'm gonna check it out tonight for sure, 100%.
Top Boy, you'll love
Top
it.
Boy.
I promise you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, Jason.
Thank you guys again, and
Thank you,
appreciate it.